The government says tomorrow's budget deficit will show it made $2.1 billion in savings, including hundreds of millions not spent on private consultants. But new spending, including $1.8 billion to extend energy subsidies, will still push the budget into the red. Let's bring in our political reporter, Pablo Vinales, now. So, Pablo, how is the government trying to frame tomorrow's budget?
Mel, good morning. Well, the government's trying to set this out as being fiscally responsible, but also addressing the key concerns of Australians under pressure with cost of living. Now, after back-to-back surpluses, Jim Chalmers says that the budget will go back to deficit for some years, saying it remains to be seen when it will return to surplus. Though the government is touting some cost savings of around $2.1 billion from private consultants, in particular, that amount coming to $720 million from outsourcing private consultants and bringing that to back to government departments. Now, we also heard from the Prime Minister earlier this morning speaking about that major announcement that the government made yesterday of $1.8 billion for energy bill relief for Australian households and 1 million small businesses. From July this year, a cut of $150 to power bills in quarterly instalments. We have also heard that the coalition will not stand in the way of this policy. And here was the Prime Minister speaking about that.
Whether it's our Medicare, tripling of the bulk billing incentive for all 21 million Australians, the 50 new urgent care clinics, the $25 for medicines on the pharmaceutical benefits scheme, the freezing of the beer excise for 2 years, or a range of other measures, including the extension of energy bill relief. The opposition, having opposed all of these things for almost 3 years, have just said yes. I guess they've got to have something to say about policy, and they don't have any of their own.
The Prime Minister there speaking on some of the measures the government has already announced before tomorrow night's budget, and really trying to put the pressure back on the coalition with some of those measures that the opposition now says it will support. We heard earlier this morning as well from the Shadow Finance Minister, Jane Hume, who is criticising the government over Labor's fiscal management.
There are deficits now that are baked in to budgets for the next decade. We don't think that that is good enough. The coalition wants to see a budget that will restore standards of living and improve our prosperity and our opportunities, most importantly, and restore those fiscal guardrails.
Jane Hume speaking there. One of the issues that the government has spoken about a lot is the spending pressures on the budget, things like paying down the interest on debt, defence spending, the National Disability Insurance Scheme, as well as health and aged care. Those are the pressures the government says it is trying to manage, as well as providing that relief, Mel.
And Pablo, we also this morning have seen an education announcement out of Canberra. Queensland has joined the Commonwealth School Funding Agreement.
Yeah, Queensland Premier David Crisafulli with Prime Minister Anthony Albanese here in Parliament speaking earlier this morning, signing publicly a $2.8 billion agreement on an easel there in the Prime Minister's courtyard. This is a public schools funding deal that the Commonwealth has been trying to strike with all the states and territories for the better part of a decade now, and Queensland was the last state to sign up on this. David Crisafulli saying it was a good outcome and the biggest investment in schools in our history, and Anthony Albanese describing this as a historic day and an investment that will pay off. Now, New South Wales also signed up to an agreement earlier this month, and it has been Labor's aspiration since the last election to ensure that all the states and territories do sign up to this public schools deal to ensure minimum fundings for public schools around the nation. And this dates back to that Gonski review 13 years ago. So something that the Prime Minister is certainly touting as Labor delivering for the states and territories, particular in schooling, Mel.
Pablo Vinales in Canberra there, thank you.